Welcome to BikeRadar's Tech of the Month. You know the drill at this point, we're going to talk through some new stuff for road and mountain bikes. This month we've got new pedals, newish shoes, the most affordable wireless group set for mountain bikes yet, a very shiny titanium gravel bike, and finally, heated gloves for cycling. Before we get stuck into those, why not drop us a cheeky little like down there? Subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon, that way you'll get a notification every time we post a new video. Now let's talk pedals. You may very well be familiar with Speedplay's road pedals. This is a Speedplay Zero. It's not changed fundamentally for years. However, the Speedplay brand was acquired by Wahoo in 2019, and so the whole Speedplay range has been revamped. There are now 4 Speedplay road pedals in Wahoo's new range. They're keeping the Speedplay name, but the Zero will now only be used for this, which is the stainless steel spindle version of the pedal. The cheapest model in the range costs £135 or $150 and comes with a chromoly steel spindle. This is next up in the range with the stainless steel spindle at £200, $230. Then there is the Aero version, which is a single-sided pedal with a sort of aero fairing on it. That's £240 or $280. Finally, the extreme weight weenie version, which is the Nano, which costs £380 or $450. While Speedplay's never enjoyed the total dominance of Shimano or Look, for example, they do have an enduring popularity for a few reasons. The key one is that they offer fully adjustable non-centering flow. You can adjust how much your foot's allowed to go out, how much it's allowed to go in, and there's no spring that's trying to force you back to the center. That's quite popular with people who have issues with their knees, for example, and bike fitters like Speedplay, because you have quite a significant range of adjustment. It's not just the float, you can also, for example, fit leg length shims under the cleats quite easily, and Speedplay always offered multiple spindle lengths so you could tweak your fit on the bike. Wahoo says that it's retained all of the claimed advantages of Speedplay's pedals. So you've got the same low weight, you've got the same cornering clearance, low stack height, which can actually offer an aero advantage in some cases because it just means that everything is lower essentially. Previously, you had a metal bow tie in the middle, but then a pedal body that was mostly plastic or resin. Now, the metal wraps all the way around the body, and what that means is that you shouldn't get the sort of rocking play that develops as the pedal body wears, which was one of the things that people used to criticize with Speedplay Zeros. Incidentally, if you're interested in weight, this is the stainless steel Zero, and these weigh on my scales 216 grams for the pair, plus 147 grams for a complete set of cleats with all the hardware and the adapter that you'll need for 3-hole shoes. The weight weenie version, that's the Nano, weighs a claimed 168 grams for a pair of pedals, which is very, very light. Final key change to note with the Wahoo Speedplays is that they've dropped the spanner flat. So instead of using a pedal spanner, you will use a hex key. It's an 8mm on most versions except for the Nano, which is a 6mm. The final piece of big news from Wahoo regarding Speedplays is that this summer we are expecting a power meter version of the pedal called the PowerLink Zero to come out. We haven't got any details on that, we don't know how much it's going to cost. We've been expecting a power meter version of a Speedplay forever. In fact, there was one proposed back in 2009, and that was the one that ultimately ended up being the Vector pedal. However, for Speedplay itself, one has not yet arrived on the market. We're very excited for that to come. Earlier this year, we showed you Specialized's latest, greatest road shoe, the S-Works Aries. And the claims that came with these shoes caused quite a bit of discussion in our YouTube community post and on BikeRadar.com. Specialized says the S-Works Aries is the fastest shoe that it's ever made and can give you a 7-watt boost to the power you're delivering to your pedals, making you 14 seconds faster over 10 kilometers. They also said that it's 1% faster than any previous Specialized shoe, which is a pretty amazing claim, but there you have it. It's not a replacement for all the previous S-Works shoes, it's an addition to the range. So the S-Works Exos was the super duper weight weenie version, while the S-Works Vent was meant for maximum cooling and was specifically aimed at hot weather riding. The S-Works Aries, on the other hand, is supposed to combine the best possible power transfer and all-day riding comfort. That was achieved by a couple of key design details. So the way the closure works is quite different. The BOA dials have been relocated, and these dials, rather than pulling cable one way, they pull cable evenly, so you get a very symmetrical, even tightening of the shoe. The other key thing is that this is a tongueless shoe. So where normally you'd have a tongue here, there's a sort of sock-like construction instead that wraps fully around your foot. The sock part is made out of Dyneema, which is one of those wonder materials that crops up in various sports. Brands love to give things arbitrary numbers. These soles have a stiffness index of 15 because it's a totally arbitrary scale, but it's more than the previous shoes, so I'm guessing it's pretty good, right? This pair of size 44 shoes weighs 520 grams, which is actually pretty darn light and does still kind of qualify as weight weaning actually. Now let's hear from mountain bike tech guru and all-round excellent guy Alex Evans, who's going to talk us through something very, very exciting from SRAM.
Thanks Matthew, that's right, I have some really exciting mountain bike tech with me today. Back in 2019, SRAM unleashed their AXS electric and wireless shifting mountain bike tech on the world. As with any brand new tech, it didn't come cheap. So lots of people, and myself included in this, have been waiting for this technology to trickle down to more affordable versions. Well, that has now arrived thanks to SRAM's GX Eagle AXS upgrade kit. And it puts the tech from the X01 and XX1 Access kit in a more affordable package. Luckily for you and for BikeRadar, I've been putting this kit through its paces for a couple of months to see how it performs. This video is just a brief overview of the kit, but if you want to find out what my in-depth thoughts are, including prices and weights and ride impressions, then click the card that's appearing now. If you're on a mobile device, click the link in the video description. The rear derailleur is battery powered and wirelessly connected to the AXS controller. SRAM claims the removable and rechargeable battery can give up to 20 hours of ride time on a single charge. The derailleur uses SRAM's Type 3 roller bearing clutch to help reduce chain slap and improve chain control. There's also a secondary clutch on the rear derailleur called SRAM's overload clutch. This disengages the motor and the gearbox from the derailleur during an impact to help protect the mech. In terms of weight, the derailleur that I tested, including battery and battery cover, weighs 465 grams. For comparison, a standard GX mechanical rear derailleur weighs 300 grams. Onto the shifter. The AXS controller has two buttons that can be programmed by the user to shift into either high or low gears via the AXS app. Due to its relatively small size, the shifter only needs a CR2032 coin cell battery. SRAM claims that this battery can last up to 2 years. On my scales, the shifter, including bar clamp and battery, weighed 80 grams. Although the SRAM GX Eagle AXS derailleur and shifter are sold as an upgrade kit only, GX Eagle AXS is cross-compatible with all current Eagle drivetrains. For some people, this might be a great way of upgrading to higher performing kit without having to spend enormous amounts of money. Now onto an important part. How much does the new GX Eagle AXS cost, and how does that compare to its more expensive counterparts? Well, this bit's a little complicated, so bear with me and listen carefully. Because the new GX Eagle AXS is sold as an upgrade kit only, it retails for £554. Included in that price, you get the derailleur and battery, shifter, bar clamp, charger, and the new B-tension chain gap tool. If you wanted to unofficially buy a full GX Eagle AXS drivetrain, you'd have to spend £913. Now that may seem quite pricey, especially when you consider that you can buy a full GX Eagle mechanical group set for £495. But it's when you begin to compare the other wireless electronic upgrade kits that it starts to make more sense. For example, the X01 Eagle AXS upgrade kit costs £739, and the XX1 Eagle AXS upgrade kit is more expensive still at £940. An X01 Eagle AXS upgrade kit, so the derailleur and mech, costs £739, and the XX1 Eagle AXS upgrade kit, which is SRAM's top of the range components, costs £975. So at £554 for the upgrade kit, GX Eagle AXS is significantly cheaper than either of those. It's certainly worth noting that GX Eagle AXS will and does weigh more than the X01 and XX1 counterparts, but it feels pretty much identical in the most crucial job when it comes to shifting gears. Now, if you're interested in finding out more and to get the true bigger picture of what this drivetrain's like, check out my review. Once again, the link is in the video description.
Thanks, Al. I too welcome our robot overlords, and genuinely, that's quite cool. Now, let me transport you to the woods where I'm going to show you a really nice bicycle. You join me now in the considerably chillier Forest of Dean, scene of my many gravel adventures. This is a bike that I am very, very excited about testing. It is the Moots Routt 45, a stupendously expensive and lovely gravel bike, one with quite large tyre clearances. This will take 700 by 50mm tyres. The ones fitted here are 700 by 43, but as you can see, there is plenty of room around them. Let's look at some of the spec details of this delicious machine. Come here, Max. Let's talk about some of the nice details of this very fancy frame set first. For starters, look at that dropout. Lovely cowled piece of design, very elegant, beautifully appointed welds. There's also an eyelet there, all important for your mudguard needs. Then moving up here, the way the stays come together here. Interestingly, Moots also does some soft-tail versions of the Routt, but this is just the standard fully rigid frame set. Moving up here, we've got beautiful brushed finish on everything. Again, very, very tidy welds, and then a nice Red Bull can style headset, which is a nice combination of old and new because it's quite a slim tubed bike overall, but this gives it a distinctly modern appearance. Next up, let's talk about the components on this bicycle. So this obviously is SRAM's wireless Force ETAP Axis group set, and this is the wide version, which is more kind of specific to gravel bikes. That means that you get a 4330 crank and a 10 to 36 cassette, giving you really seriously low gears for when you need to haul up something very steep. The wheels are almost modest by comparison. These are in fact aluminium rims, shocking though I know that is. Astral Wanderlust, which was a new brand to me, but it's an American firm and they've built these rims on White Industries hubs. White Industries is very well established as a maker of premium hubs, and while they're quite understated, they're very pretty and nicely made. Finally, finishing kit. This is a titanium bike, remember, so you also get titanium stem, titanium seat post, both from Moots incidentally, and also titanium bottle cages. Ooh, fancy. Oh, and even the saddle rails are titanium. Amazing. The bar is not made from titanium. It's radically flared for all your gravel needs, and it is an NV carbon item, which is suitably expensive for a bike like this. This complete bike, now remember this is a metal frame with metal wheels, weighs a very impressively light 9.1 kilograms. We'll give you full pricing and details when we review this bike, but just to give you a ballpark, a bike roughly spec'd like this will cost something in the region of 10,000 US dollars. I am really looking forward to riding this bike because it is incredibly luxurious and beautiful. We'll be giving you a full review on BikeRadar, so do look out for that. Back to the garage. Thanks very much, Matthew. You're looking unusually devastating there. Let me talk to you about cold hands. Nobody likes cold hands. They can ruin otherwise wonderful rides in winter. Heated gloves have been around as a concept for years. They're very well established in motorcycling, but they've never really caught on for regular old pedal-powered bicycles. These gloves from Sealskinz are one of the better efforts that I think we've seen so far at a heated glove. Ostensibly, it's a normal winter glove. These claim to be waterproof and windproof, and they've got Primaloft Gold insulation, so in their own right, they're a reasonably heavy-duty glove. However, they've also got heating elements inside the glove, and they're powered by batteries that are hidden inside the cuff. I will show you. That's a battery. I've put these to extensive use on some seriously cold winter rides, and I can report that they are overall very, very effective. They give you 3 power levels, which you can switch between just by pressing a button on the back of the glove, which is easy to do while you're riding along. And they claim to give up to 6 hours of runtime, but that will obviously depend on which power levels you're using. In fact, I've used these for much of a day on lower power settings and so far have yet to flatten the battery, so I think actually the battery life claim is pretty accurate. I do suffer from Raynaud's syndrome, which is where a finger will just go completely cold and even sometimes turn white. It's very unpleasant, it's very uncomfortable. And while having these gloves hasn't totally avoided that, it has greatly reduced the frequency that I have suffered this on rides in the winter. The gloves aren't absolutely perfect. I maybe would have got on better with an even larger size. These are a size medium, and I have quite skinny hands, but not that small. And I do find that where my finger hits the end of the inside of the glove, sometimes I get a cold spot. But overall, these are a game changer if you suffer from cold hands in the winter. One thing I don't like is that you have to take the batteries out of the gloves to charge, and that is slightly annoying and means mucking about with some fiddly wires, and I do wonder in the long run if those wires are going to break, but they haven't so far. Anyway, I do think these are well worth a try if, like me, you really suffer from cold hands. These cost £150. That's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Matthew Loveridge, and that was BikeRadar's Tech of the Month. Do check back and watch previous episodes if you haven't already seen them. There's loads of good stuff, lots of interesting geeky objects. Anyway, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and you knew this was coming, hit that little bell icon so that you get notified every single time we upload a video. Thank you. Yeah, I hated that. That was awful. I'm never doing that again.